And then tong pagkahapon, pagpuling halin sa barangay, mga 4, amo to siya, tiro siya sa may,
The indigenous Blan people have lived on the island of Mindanao in the southern Philippines for thousands of years. Today, the Blan are being threatened by Glencore Xstrata, an Anglo-Swiss mining giant, which is leading plans to build a huge open-cast copper mine right in the middle of the Blan's ancestral homeland. If the Tampakan project goes ahead, its boundary will measure almost 10,000 hectares, destroying huge swathes of rainforests, which are the source of 5 rivers.
This kind of projects, this kind of policies, particularly in the mining, the people realize that this is not the one that will truly give benefits to them. This will not bring growth or progress.
We have to understand that the job is temporary because the mining industry will not be there forever. That would mean if they extract everything, they will just leave the area. And what will happen next?
From the mid-80s until 1990, a small-scale mining rush took place in the Philippines. Several mining claims by local companies were lodged in the Tampakan area. Since then, ownership of the Tampakan project has changed hands several times.
So in 1992, the Western Mining Corporation entered the area and they find a very rich deposit on gold and copper in South Cotabato and nearby provinces. They tried to get a mining agreement and they were successful.
Today, the Anglo-Swiss corporation Glencore owns a controlling stake in the Tampakan project, run by its subsidiary Sagittarius Mines Incorporated. Indophil Resources is a minority stakeholder. Many promises have been made to the local population.
Ang kuha nila sa amon, tagaan daw kami mga project para sa mga tubig, mga dryer, mga tagaan mig hose. Pero sa karon wala man naabot mga project nga mga kuan, mga solar dryer. Ngunang ingon namon nga kami.
Feni Koseko is a local scientist who has been researching the effects of the ecological damage caused by mine developers, like the 1993 Mar copper mining disaster in the northwest of the Philippines. The Magila-Gila Dam storing toxic mine waste collapsed and caused the Mogpog River to be flooded.
More copper acid mine drainage took about 20 years, and until now this has not been resolved by the mining company itself. In fact, they filed charges to the company, but they did not comply. They are not held accountable for this pollution that they've created. So the Tampakan would be twice larger than the Mar copper. So it will be a very tragic event.
Well, we're talking here of the impact of the industry. Let's say if they will employ 10,000 people in the mining industry, we compare it to the whole population in South Cotabato, and that cannot exactly balance everything. You are compromising millions of people compared to the jobs that they were going to raise. And we have to understand that the job is temporary because the mining industry will not be there forever.
Human rights groups say that atrocities against local indigenous communities by security forces are linked to community opposition to the mine.
Upon the entry of any mining corporation comes with a military force. So whether this force is sanctioned or not by the Philippine government, by the local government, or by the private security assets or institutions of the multinational or transnational corporation. So each and every time these businesses come in, private security or security forces are always there.
So it's from regular military units to paramilitary groups. So aside from the security guards, no, private security guards. They employ paramilitaries, meaning they are forced to recruit local militiamen who guard this project. And they have a memorandum of agreement with the Armed Forces of the Philippines to organize military units, set up detachment inside the mining concession. They say it's to counter the communist or anti-insurgency force, but actually it's a security force for the mining operation. And these military units involved are also the one we suspect who doing the killings and harassment to the local people.
Glencore Xstrata has admitted that its mine has made payments to military forces, which have been responsible for atrocities against the Blan people. Local activists also report how the companies in charge of the Tampakan project have sought to create division in local indigenous communities and have tried to corrupt government officials.
Some of the politicians received the envelope from Isima Xstrata. I think that the politician knows that Republic Act or Binding Act 1985 is inconsistent by the Philippine Constitution of 1987.
Ang ubang mga lumad gipambayran sa Xstrata SMI nya dili na magkasinabot na ang katawang lumad tungod sa naay pinalabi labi na tong mga tribal leaders nga mao nay nagunang ginaduulan sa Xstrata SMI, mao nang tagaan nilang kwarta samantala ang katong gagmay wala nila.
Concerted local opposition has dealt major blows to the Tampakan project and has seen the expected date for the mine to be fully operational delayed repeatedly.
As for the mining that is proposed in the municipality of Tampakan by a company which is Sagittarius Mine Incorporated, they will use open pit mining. So they could not mine it because under this ordinance, open pit is banned in our province.
Catholic Church officials in the southern Philippines have also taken a strong anti-mining position. The Church fears environmental degradation and social disruption, particularly for the indigenous population.
Mining, it could be a disastrous for the environment because we believe that the creations of God, we must understand the creations of God not for profit, not for exploitation, just to, we call it just to satisfy the human greed. I don't believe the Xstrata and SMI because they came here just to have a profit. The Xstrata SMI is lying the people of the South Cotabato that they came here to provide jobs, to provide, to alleviate the economic problem of the people, but it is a lie.
Kinihulga po ni sa pagpuyo sa katawang lumad, ilabi na sa Tibok Region kay ang mahitabo niini ang katong pagpahawa sa katawang lumad kung magpadayon ang pagsulod sa mga dinagkong pagmina. Gani bisan pa man dili pa full blown ang operation sa Xstrata SMI, daghana ang mga violation ang gihimo. Naguna diri ang katong pagpatay nila sa pamilyang Kapyun, kaduha ang katong pagpatay pud nila sa pamilyang Priay. Daghan pa ang mga human right violation, paspas ang mga military operation sa maong mga area sa katawang lumad. Mo na ang katawang lumad karon sa Tibok Region naay dakong threat tungod sa pagsulod sa mga dinagkong pagmina o kaning paspas nga militarization sa maong mga area.
The militarization which the Tampakan project has brought to the area has had a huge impact upon the lives of the local population. Faced with this existential threat, some Blan community members have seen no other option than to declare tribal war to defend themselves. led by Blan tribal leader Dagil Kapion. On the 18th of October 2012, soldiers in the area ambushed the home of Dagil's pregnant wife, Juvi Kapion, along with her 2 sons aged 8 and 13.
Si Juby Kapyon o siya sa ka-membro sa Kalgad, kaupungan sa mga lumad dito sa Tampakan. Sa wala pa siya namatay, naghana ang mga threat sa ilang pamilya. Kay una, ang pamilya niya, ang yang bana, usa ka leader sa karang pangayaw. Kung pangayaw, mao na ang pinakataas nga porma sa pagbisog sa katawang lumad kung giyatakan ang ilang tawanong katungod. Si Dagel ang leader sa pangayaw, lumad nung pagsukol niya. Si Juby Kapyon tungod kay ang yang bana usa ka leader, mao na ang ginagukod pod sa 27th IB, ginagukod pod na sa labi na sa mga paramilitar.
1 year after the Kapion tragedy, the Tampakan community was shocked once again by the killing of a Blan clan chief and his 17-year-old son. Anting Frey and his son Victor were shot dead by government troops operating in the area.
Tabalnaan ko nga ni, tabalnaan ko rigamo. Kuwating tilaf nati, piko nunin tinsara. Falun bagbayen do bagker mi magumne. Yeni mo an gumne bag mo kamlang afus, bag mo bohon. Do menane mi magugumne. Kam tabaling ko titilabeng bagfnati ba mi ben ge bagren mi magumne. Mi ben ko kahibud yeri rumun walo tilabeng bagfnati. Nakararongan na ye ba ame landek kunin sara amne di sa fed kalasara. Do menanim kri yeri radngaan. To for you. Ta ni to kando yeri to ni to kando yeri Bisaya ato. To fan for balu to riralu. Ye na fan ngulen tilabeng bufnati di gunggulan di saraan.
In addition to the murders of prominent Blan community members, locals have reported incidents of intimidation by security forces and local government on behalf of the mining company.
In the area where the SMI Extrata Mining Corporation or conglomerate is operating, there are several organizations of indigenous peoples in the many communities in the area. They do protests, no? They conduct rallies, they hold meetings, mass meetings to explain the issues, the implications, and to get as well the feedback of the people in the community. They brand them as communist fronts or terrorist fronts or any other name that will make them appear as troublemakers or as impediments to progress.
Opponents of the mining project are often falsely accused of belonging to the left-wing guerrilla group, the New People's Army, an accusation often aimed at political activists in the Philippines.
Sa kasamtangan kung sa amua nga isip nagpasabot o mga organizer sa tribo, nakanunay ang threat sa militar. Gani sa kasamtangan maglisod na gani mi na gani mi sa kanang obilest nila nga kanang patyununon po nila naami sa ilang listahan tungod sa among tumong katong pag-organize gud mismo sa among tribo. 2010 experience pod namo ni adto mi magsaysay. Nag-organize mi panahon to sa eleksyon, gihold mi, gidala mi sa detachment sa 39th IB.
Niadtong 2011 Mayo 30 gidako pa ko ug napriso ako sulod sa 15 ka adlaw 15 ka gabi. Sala nako nga wala nako damha nga pero wala gyud ako makahibalo ato mao nga gi pahamtang ako sala nga extortion ug mao to nga napriso ako sulod sa gidugayon nga adlaw ang ako ang nahinubnuban nga ako usa ka aktibo sa usa ka organizer sa anti-mining niadto nga pila ka tuig nga ning labay nga sa among lugar tungod kay target kato sa extradited CMI ang maong area.
In almost all of the cases of human rights violations that we handle, not a single big leap for justice was achieved.
The Blan community have managed to preserve their unique way of life and sacred sites for thousands of years. Their territory is central to their cultural identity. It is no surprise that local opposition to the mine, which threatens to destroy ancestral burial grounds, has been so strong here.
Kasi kung sa amo kung mawala ang yutang kabilin, mawala pud ang among pagtuo. Kay dito man among exercise ang among pagtuo dito sa among ancestral domain.
Ang kuan. Pero ganing inaway kasi ang gobyerno mabato ka, di mo kaya. Pero sa balaod nga subayon, dili mo mahawa diri sa mga area. Kayo inaway, wala kayo mahimo diha. Sa tanan persa, ara sa gobyerno. Ang sako lang, basta plastar lang mayong nga sa mayong pamagi.
Maria Lorena Bilianes was only 12 years old when an anonymous gunman gunned down her father. She believes his work as an anti-mine campaigner was the reason for his death.
Sang start ko nga nakita at I'm 12 years old, elementary, sa Marbel, may arang activity sila papa. He speak related on that activity and sa mining, about mining environment sa SOC Sergeant. Isa siya sa dako nga nagababag sa estrata isip mine ng mining sa Tampakan. Kung kaya nga may ara nga treat sa iya, and then habang nagadugay nang hindi niya gusto nga nang buhian ang iya nga obra kung ano ang sa pamatsyag niya nga tama ginahimo niya kung kaya nga ginpatay siya kaya hindi siya magpunta. Nang may nagkadto diri tung day nga napatay siya masang aga. Kay miyarabi nga ng mga military nga nag-stay sa barangay. And then nang nagkipag-dialogue siya dito sa barangay official sa amon nga barangay upod ang tung mga military. Tung that day, March 9, 2009, amo to siya tong adlaw nga makipag-dialogue siya sa barangay official kag sa mga military. Pero that time ginpa-cancel nila atong ilang dialogue kay may ara daw nga importante nga kadtuan tong military. And then tong pagkahapon, pagpuli niya halin sa barangay, mga 4, amo to siya, tiro siya sa may, sa tubangan sang fire station sa Marbel.
The Blan people's opposition to the Tampakan project has won widespread support from across the Philippines and internationally. Ryan Lariba was an agriculturist before he decided to dedicate his life to the Blan's cause. He is now one of the most well-known activists in the southern Philippines.
Niadtong Marso 18, 2014, naglunsad kita og lihok protesta atubangan sa Hagunoy Police Station kung diin ato ang lunsad ang usa ka noise barrage, gipukpok ang gate sa police station para ipalanog ang ato ang panawagan nga hinanaling buhian ang siyam ka mga sibilyan nga illegal nga gipang aresto sa 39th IB ug sa PNP. Nagsinggit dayon ang mga pulis nga arestohon ako ug uban pa sa mga lider sa maong lihok protesta apan ang ato ang katuyuan man lang sa maong lihok protesta ay ipanawagan ang inanaling pagbuhi sa siyam ka mga sibilyan nga gipasakaan og mga tinumo-tumong kaso sama sa 2 counts of murder, 3 counts of frustrated murder, malicious mischief ug robbery in band nga tin-aw man nga tinumo-tumo kini ug ang mga sibilyan nga gipang aresto, ang siyam ka mga sibilyan ay mga inosente ug mga yanong mga drivers, yanong mga mag-uma nga nanginabuhi ra pud sa matag adlaw.
The campaign against the Tampakan project continues to grow, despite continuing militarization, repression, and violence against local activists. Human rights organizations and politicians are calling for an end to the intimidation and impunity used by the Philippine military and SMI Extrata in Tampakan.
Impunity is one of the major scourges of society in the country, in the Philippines. So that's the first thing you need to address. Impunity meaning we should force government to investigate and prosecute the suspected perpetrators of these crimes. Otherwise, if not even a serious investigation is conducted, you will have the worst form of impunity. What is impunity? Impunity is when people commit crimes and get away with it. What is the worst form of impunity? The worst form of impunity is when people commit crimes because they know they can get away with it.
Ni titare tibuok rito kato tateun fangulan tila beng bufnati. Nenawana ni me lami sa timilih dito. Ne kamu sa bagtita ofam gaya ikiri Bisaya bagyul santulon duga sa timi beng bagagtagak sa nga kami nga banul. Due duta golam nok. Ne tateun mi sa ating. Ne yung may acting galero na ye, dufnati ra sa tafan faya. Tikuta umiya ye men guerad nga nangagamu tafnati ra anting men guem da at tiguta idyol dad nga kureng.
One child killed in our greed for gold and mineral resources is one death too many.
Nanawagad pod ang kaluhamin sa hinanali pod nga pag-fall out sa mga militar dito sa kabukiran kay samta kung naang mga militar naagi hapon ang kaakibat ni ana ang human right violation muna isip kami na sa Katawang Lumad sa kaluhamin nanawagan gyud sa hinanali nga pag-fall out sa militar sa kabukiran o pagpahawa gyud mismo sa Glencore Extrata sa Region 12.
Due to the levels of resistance that the mine has met locally and nationally, Glencore has repeatedly put back the date when it predicts that the Tampakan mine will go into operation. The Bland people have vowed to continue to defend their land and resources and say they will not stop until the Tampakan mining project is completely abandoned.